I'm a ghost, and can I just say that I freaking love tacos.
Hey friends, welcome back to another reaction video. I'm your host, Ghostslovetacos. Today we're checking out a song that was recently recommended by Tom MacDonald, of course. Shout out to Hangover Gang. This song is called Clown World. I'm obviously very familiar with Tom MacDonald, but I've never heard this song. So without being said, let's just hop right in.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at every kid.
Damn, he started out strong. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Wow, he's going in on this one.
For our planet. Entire generation offended at every day and getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in this.
100%. I don't care about your race. I don't care about your political stance. All we need is a little balance. Everybody should be able to get along. We should be able to coexist peacefully while having different beliefs. There is no reason you're Democrat, you're Republican, I'm Democrat, I'm Republican, that we can't be friends. No reason. In life, we're going to have disagreements. That's just how a lot of conversations happen. So what do? Do you just stop being friends with somebody because they don't completely agree with everything you're saying? Or do you move on like an adult?
Why you trying to make holes? If they sing, we sing. This is madness. I'm offended that you're offended by me taking offense. You can't build a wall. Why does your house have a fence? I believe.
Oh my God, I'm offended by being offended that you're taking offense. It's funny because like somebody gets triggered, right? So you get annoyed or whatever because they're acting ridiculous, and they get even more annoyed. They're like, oh, get over yourself.
The two genders, I'm not mad at the rest. I'm just confused when a dude has a beard and some breasts. We won't always agree. No, I don't hate all police. No, I don't think that the system's racist. I just think the system hates people. I think fighting violence with more violence is what they want. Viruses and riots, people dying, we won't stay home.
100%. I apologize for pausing it so much, but everything he's saying is very truthful, and he's hitting a lot of strong bars in this song, and we're only 43 seconds in. I'm sure you've heard it before. The government, these politicians, all they want to do is divide us, whether it's the color of our skin, whether it's where we're from, whether it's how much money we make, whether it's our political party, you know, list goes on. They just want division. You know why? Because while we're divided, we're separated and we're not against them as a whole. What should be happening with this country is everybody should be together, and we should be focused on the government, making them do their jobs, making sure stuff gets done correctly. But that's what they don't want. And unfortunately, a mass majority of the people are falling for it. They're so caught up on, oh my gosh, that person's a Democrat. Oh my gosh, they're a Republican. But what they need to do is work together and be like, oh my gosh, look what's happening in the government. Oh my gosh, look at this trial. Why did this trial pop up? When this huge important issue is happening, why is nobody talking about the important issue anymore?
Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud. Smiles on their mouths.
On a funny note, Tom is super funny. Like, I love this dude. He's always doing dumb stuff in his videos. Obviously on purpose, you know.
Hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes. When I was a child, the only races that we hated were the ones that we ran and didn't win. Then we stopped playing with each other, started hating on each other.
When I was growing up, the only races that we hated were the races we were in and didn't win. Right? So that's like, for example, at school track day, you didn't win in a physical race or a physical competition in school, you hated it. But as I've grown up, I've noticed that the division is worse than it's ever been. And this started years ago. I'm not going to comment on which specific years, but everybody likes to point it towards our last president, and that's not true.
Started noticing the color of our skin. Christians and atheists, immigrants, patriots. We love the country, but we are not saving it. Wages don't raise to the rate of inflation, and half of the country hates all of the nation. It's funny that we think the world...
Another thing he just said, half of the country hates all of the nation. Isn't that scary? I always think to myself whenever I watch a Tom MacDonald video, this guy is Canadian, and he loves America more than half the people in America. If not, maybe 60-70%. Let's be honest, though you consider yourself an American, maybe you're proud to be American, you don't ever really think about why you're proud to be American. You just exist. And Tom, you know, he's a huge platform, and he uses his voice to express all these things and his love for America. He points out the division across the United States, and it's so beautiful.
All the phones got smart, but the people so dumb. We care more about the likes on a selfie than our moms, and the only time we ever speak the truth when we're drunk. We won't always agree. No, I don't hate all police. No,
There's another thing he just said. I actually made a post on Facebook last week. Everybody always asks me why I don't post. Like, why don't I post pictures? Why don't I ever post on Facebook? And I realized after long thought that I don't post on social media because what am I posting for? Is it for validation? Am I supposed to feel better that somebody's hitting that like or that heart on my photos? I don't understand. Like, I have real life problems and I don't have time for that. But, you know, that's just me. To each their own.
I think picking sides divide is probably what has got us here. United States is great regardless, that's what we forgot in here. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation, this is shutting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud, painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes. They tell you be yourself and then they judge you.
To all my viewers, all my subscribers, all my friends, what is your political status? And in regards to your political status, are you open to everybody? Like, are you friends with everybody, or do you kind of show a bias? Like, I'm actually very curious. Please feel free to comment below. No hate in the comment section. It's all love around here. No disrespect, I will delete it.
On the internet till everybody hates you for it. If Jesus was alive, I swear to God that y'all would cancel him. Cause lately being negative's the real new normal. Yeah, if you're thick, you're fat, you're rich, you're bad, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're whack. They lie, it's facts. My generation needs a bunch of free condoms. Common sense ain't that common.
That's actually something me and my mom talk about. Common sense isn't so common anymore. Growing up in the school system, growing up in general, you know, just the average day life, people always say, when you ask a silly question, just for verifications, they're like, well, obviously, you know, it's common sense. But nowadays, it's not common sense. You can't talk to somebody in the younger generation and be like, well, it's common sense. A few reasons. One, they're going to get offended. It's probably going to start an argument and they're going to hate you. Two, it's not common sense anymore. The stuff that we grew up on with us having common sense, it's no longer a common thing. Now it's just called sense.
What they wanted, this is how they planned it. This is to control everyone on the planet. Then we put each other in caskets, protest and panic, and they take advantage to manage the damage. We won't always agree. No, freedom doesn't come free. No, there was people fighting, dying overseas, so that you can have freedom and be home.
Oh my gosh, people dying overseas so you could have freedom. One thing that really aggravates me about that is all the people that dislike our military, that hate our military, the people who sit back and they say that they do bad stuff. And my response to you is this: when you enroll in the military because you love your country and you want to serve your country, do you think that you're going to be labeled as someone who hurt somebody for no reason whatsoever? Or do you think they're just doing what they enlisted to do? If we jump this back 30s, 40s, you know, when people were enlisted to the military, they didn't have a choice. Would you still label them? Or if we came to modern times and there was a huge war and your son, your brother, your uncle, your nephew, they were forced to be enlisted, would you label them badly? Probably not, right? So why do you do it to our military?
I think the elites are real, but they ain't drinking babies' blood. They're creating chaos so they have something to save you from. Black lives matter, all lives matter.
So I'm going to tell a story. I'm not sure if I can tell this story, but I'm just going to keep names out of it to be safe. So I actually spoke to somebody a few years back, and they are ex-military, and they have some pretty good credentials. They've actually worked for some really big people in this country. I'm talking people at the top of the food chain. He was telling me his job to frequent these specific spots like 2-3 months in advance to become regulars there. So everybody who lives there think they're just regulars, they live there, they're citizens, and they think nothing of them. But truthfully what it was is they were undercover, like some certain level of like spec ops or special forces, and they would plant themselves there so when these high level people came into town to eat or to drink at that specific location. And when I say high level people, I'm talking about these type of people who don't have social security numbers. There are people out there that are so high in the government, social security numbers for them don't exist. You don't need to know their name, and you won't know their name unless you're directly involved with them. The person who told me this, very valuable source. You can actually find stories like this online too, I'm sure.
What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud, painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie.
Alright, that was Tom MacDonald Clown World. Overall impressions, obviously I loved it a lot. I paused it a lot as well. I apologize for that, and to be honest, I actually wanted to pause it a lot more because I have way more things to say, but I didn't want to talk your guys' ear off, especially since I'm doing this on my lunch break at work. But with that being said, thank you so kindly for the recommendation. Obviously, I totally appreciate it. I enjoyed this. I love talking about this. I wish I could actually go live and have full conversations with you. With that being said, I need more subscribers to do that. If you did like my reaction, please feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that silly bell notification. That helps me tell you when I've got a new video up. Until next time, Hangover Gang, you have a beautiful night. Peace.